Alright, today we're putting the aux locker in the rear end of the Roxor. We already got it in there, but we'll go over it all. It's kind of hard to film and do it all without anyone here helping me, but we got her in and done. Check it out, huh? So we just screwed this in, so we got the lock and differential part. Should be good to go. So, you know, when I set this up, it was, I don't know, like 2 thousandths, but now since I played with her a little more, that's about 4 or 5. So she'll jump up to 6 or so, get a little lube in her. But, so, let's see, backlash is 6 to 10 thousandths. So we're right in the ballpark. But, show you what you gotta do over here. Check this out. All right, so, oh, drops it. Pick that up. All right, here's a stock carrier that comes in your Roxor. If you ever pull these apart, make sure you put this in. And what else they don't tell you is this can spin in here and be sideways. So you look down your axle tube and make sure you're looking right at the end of that thing when you put it in there. Otherwise you screw up your wheel bearing. I already done did that, so don't want to do that again. All right, so there's 5 or 6 shims on both sides of this carrier when you get it. Now you're going to take all the shims but one. You're going to leave one shim on this side, almost the smallest shim. Oh, and then all the rest are going to come over to the passenger side on here. Now that is going to give you the right offset to give you right backlash and all that. So pretty simple. All you got to do is rip your axles out, pull your cover off, unbolt, pop that out, and then you come over to your press over here. This is where the fun part with being by yourself. Look at all these pieces of wood stuff. Oh, you got to stack wood up on each side here and here and put wrenches underneath, and yeah, you'll get it done eventually. Takes a little bit of work. But all right, I'm gonna get this rear end in here and we'll see how she goes. All right, well, we got the aux locker in, rear end put back in. Now we're running the cable, so slowly getting it. See what we got going on here. Oh, all right, here we got the cable screwed in. That's pretty difficult, I tell you what. So you got to take your tire off and run the cable straight out. And it's probably nice to have someone on the end of the cable to help spin it, because it's a big U and it's getting caught on everything, to get that in there. Then I had to jack it up and slide the cable under this and up and around that shock. So, because you got to stay away from the exhaust. But you got to have slop. I mean, that diff right there, that's going to drop a foot and come up a foot. So, or maybe not that much, but it's going to do something. So, I got to make sure I'm going to try to put my slop right up there so it'll pull and push and stay away from, completely away from that exhaust. So the only time the exhaust will be able to get near this is when I'm flexed in. But with these bump stops set up, I only come up 2.5 inches. So I stop right there. So I shouldn't get no closer than that to the exhaust ever. So it should be good. Then we ran her down somewhere over there. Not sure if I'm going to run it down the middle or what yet. We're working on length right now, because you know, you order a cable a certain length, and I watched, or there was a picture of a guy online in some format with a setup like I'm doing, and he said how long cables he bought, but he didn't say how he ran the cables, so I got to figure that out. So in that picture, he had his lock switches set up just like that, and hole drilled there and there, and then get yourself a rubber garment like this guy right here, drill the hole bigger, pop that in. So should be good to go. But we'll keep tracking on this and see how it comes out. All right, now I was going after a guy online that had pictures and everything, how he put them in. It ain't working for me. I had it all set up. Check it out here. A little dark, but I had all this mounted here. Good to go. I had the holes drilled, and I couldn't get it to disengage and engage. That line coming up and making that curve was too much for it. As soon as I took and flopped up off the curb, it disengage and engage. I messed with it, can't get it. So now plug the holes, moving it. So this is the new location. We're gonna take it, we're gonna mount it right here. And that way the line will be shooting more straight right where it goes, and then the front will have just about half as much curve. So plug those up, drill 2 new holes, mount them. Should be good to go. I mean, it only took me like 2-3 hours to figure out that wasn't going to work, so I'll get her done. So one way or another, get back to it and see what happens. All right, we have the shifter put in. Oh, ended up going right there at that location. We had these holes drilled here. We tried running it this way, and with that loop in the cable coming back, it wasn't disengaging. So I don't know how they did it that way, but I couldn't make it work. So we ran it up, drilled another hole, plugged those off, ran it up like this, and seems to work. So that's free will. And there's locked. Oh, it ain't locking in. Oh, I've adjusted this thing like 5 times. I keep getting it perfect, and then this happens. So I took it all apart, got it all working perfect, and then I go to try it out and it ain't locking in. So obviously that ain't working either. There's too much, that cable, there's a little twist right there. It's just too much of a bind for it. Man, it's pretty picky. It has to be just right to work. So show you what I did under here. Let's get a light here. All right, well, everyone's melting it on the exhaust, so I couldn't run it up the frame rail or anything and cross it over. So it's coming up right out of here and down. I wrapped all tape here, and then I came down and built this bracket here and wrapped tape and bolted it on. The line sits in there nice and tight and doesn't move, runs through there. Oh, it's just sitting there on that. And then I got it shooting straight up, and I got it zippy tied, a couple big zippy ties right here. And then back here, let me move this light over here. Maybe you'll actually be able to see what I'm talking about. All right, so you can see the zippy ties right there. Oh, and it runs. And then we got back here, we got this big loop. It comes back and around, and hopefully that'll give me enough drop. So, and then I ran it up on this side of the shock to keep it away from the exhaust. If I came around this side, then it could hit that. And then I came around on the inside of my bump stop right here, and I zippy tied it there just to make sure when it flexed it didn't try to slip into that. And then it goes around to the housing. But it ain't working. So all this is pretty gradual bends all through here. This one, you know, is a little tight, but I mean, I gotta have a little bit there. So, I don't know. Well, I mean, we could try tightening it up a little more and see how that goes. Oh, let's try it. All right, well, we had to change everything around. Wasn't happy with it, wasn't working right. All right, so show you what we got now. We got it mounted right there. Oh, come around, take a look. So changing it, getting that hard angle out of it, first time I adjusted it, it worked. So what I did here, you know, this is just over far enough out of the way from my foot. Drilled a hole through here. Just pulled this up, ran it through, and then there was already a hole back here. I didn't bring a light, but maybe you can see. Alright, so this is the cable right here. There was already a hole here, just covered up with tape, so I just had to cut the tape out, pop that rubber in, ran it right through there, right along, zippy tied it right here. Then it comes back, has this big bend around and comes down. All looks good. The only thing I'm worried about is right here. If I flex down far enough, is it going to pull over before it hits the exhaust? Should be good. We'll see what happens. Oh, but right now we're in free. Come around, spin the tires. Well, I only got one tire jacked up in there. That's why I'm able to do it like this. All right, now we'll lock her in. She's locked. Unlock. She's free. Done deal. That's how you do it right there. All right. Well, I'll show you how I do the front end. All right, have a good one.